We at Fulton Creek Friends Church have undertaken a brand new mission field. And that mission field is in Belize. It's in the southern end of Belize. And it involves a village called Aguacate. And our contact there is a 100% Mayan fellow whose name is Andy. Andy's family lives at the very end, if you will, of the road that goes through Aguacate. After that, it is jungle. And so we have the desire to help these people both in a humanitarian sense and also in a spiritual sense. And our humanitarian work down there so far has consisted of helping, 8 or 9 families with food, these people being in food distress. Poverty is rampant down there, approaching 68% for indigenous populations. And so for 9 families, we we send $50 a month down there. They buy their food, and that food is bought for them from Andy, whose mom owns a store, and that food is delivered to them. And so we're going to end that with this batch of people here very soon. And we will start up with another batch just as soon as Andy can put that together. We have asked Andy to talk with his pastor and also to talk with a woman by the name of Hilaria. She is the healthcare professional that lives in town, and we believe that probably even better than Andy, who is a resident of that town, these people know the needs of the people of Aguacate and can point us out to the people that need it the most. And that's who we're trying to address. As far as the other humanitarian thing that we're doing is trying to start a nursery or a series of small, I guess you might even call them micro nurseries down there, where people can actually grow on their own property. And these plants would be used for the national reforestation effort. The people would be paid on a per tree basis. If they wanted to plant, they could plant. That would be another opportunity for income. Just this morning, I am emailing possible funding groups down in Belize and all over the place. My goodness, there's a bunch of them from Europe. There's some in the United States. There's some down in Belize. And most of them, it seems, want you to be an NGO. And so I don't personally know how to do that. There's an application you got to fill out. It costs some money. It's not crazy expensive. But some people are like, some of these groups are like, we will not talk to you unless you're an NGO, which totally get, because there's an accounting facet to being an NGO. And so so that might be what we have to do. I'm checking on that. I'm asking these people that I'm emailing, these funding groups, is it better if we're an NGO? That's that. On the spiritual end, we were down there about 3 weeks ago. And first night there, Andy says, we have a church meeting. And I'm like, we're there. So we went to this church meeting, and it was in somebody's house. And there was a 75-year-old woman who was sick and a 79-year-old guy. And they basically have a prayer meeting at that house to pray over these people. And it was really a special moment. It was probably the most special moment I had, was that first night at that church meeting. I envisioned that house meeting as to what the early church must have been like when they met at somebody's house, where people would stand up and they spoke. And these people were speaking in Quechua Mayan, and we have no idea what they're saying. But you do know what they're saying because of the situation. And so they sang some songs in Quechua, and we recognized the tune, but not the words. And so it was really fun, really meaningful. And then at the end, these people took up a collection. Our church sent us down with some money. So we took up a collection for this couple. They needed money for whatever. And so that was really great. I got a chance to speak with the older fella there and just to tell him, look, man, I think God's going to do a mighty work in your life here. And he had no idea what I was saying. He spoke to me in Quechua. I had no idea what he was saying. But just when you're in that moment and you're just talking and he's right here and you're right here and you're just talking, you know, he knew what I was saying, and that we were behind him and that we were praying for him. And that's really all I wanted to let him know. So it was really special. What I hope we can do with these people, and again, I don't have a good assessment on spiritual needs. I thought, and from what we saw, and again, that was just Andy's church, they seem to be in good hands. And so you just be praying that we will be put in contact with the right people to minister to this wonderful village, these wonderful people, in the way that is most effective for them, whether that's with spiritual needs, whether that's with humanitarian needs, whether that's in, are we going to put a nursery here in your front yard? Just a little one, just to make a little bit of money. We just need, we need discernment. We need discernment, eyes to see, ears to hear, and just a discerning brain and a discerning heart. We don't want to change these people. They're wonderful. They're fabulous. They're so fantastic. I wouldn't want to change them at all. Just want to get them lifted up a little bit financially and spiritually if they need it. All right, my friend. Thank